I wish I could say I didn't see it coming, that everything just happened out of the blue, but honestly, deep down, I knew the second I zipped up that outfit I was playing with fire. Even now, I can hear the echo of my own nervous laughter in the bathroom mirror, trying to convince myself it was harmless, that I could get away with just one night of being reckless. I told myself it was just for fun, that it would all be forgotten by the next morning. But as I sit here in the quiet wreckage of my marriage, staring at the dent in the couch where Aaron used to sit, I can't stop replaying that night. I'm Jessica, I'm 26, and this is how one stupid costume and one stupid decision sent my whole life crashing down. It was supposed to be nothing. My best friend Brielle, Belle to everyone who knows her, had been hyping up this Halloween party for weeks. She made it sound like it would be legendary, the kind of night people talk about for years. Jess, you never do anything wild anymore. This is our shot. No rules, no regrets, just one night to actually live a little. She said it with so much conviction that I wanted to believe her. Maybe I was desperate to feel that spark again. The kind I hadn't felt since college, before marriage, before bills, before life got so predictable. Aaron, my husband, is 28. He's not the kind of guy who likes crowds or loud music or the wild chaos of parties. He always says costume parties are just an excuse for people to show off and forget their responsibilities for a night. He's not controlling, never has been, but he's always been old-fashioned about respect. About how you carry yourself, how you show up for the people you love. And if I'm being honest, I used to love that about him. But after so many years of being the good wife, of always choosing the safe option, I started to wonder if there was something more out there, some wild part of me I'd buried. Brielle wasn't letting up. For days, she texted me every morning and night, "Girl, you're grown. You can wear whatever you want. Stop letting anyone make you feel small." I'd roll my eyes, but those words stuck in my head. By the day of the party, I was torn. Part of me desperate to break out, part of me scared of what it would mean. I told Aaron about the party in passing, just to keep the peace, and he shrugged. "Go if you want," he said, not looking up from his phone. "Just remember who you are." I remember feeling something twist inside me. Was that a warning or just another example of him never really understanding me? When it came time to get ready, I stood in front of my closet, staring at the usual boring options. Then my eyes landed on that black lace corset. The one I'd bought as a joke, swearing I'd never wear it outside the bedroom. And a matching mini skirt that felt less like a skirt and more like a dare. My heart was pounding as I tried them on. Looking in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. For the first time in years, I felt dangerous. I felt alive. And terrified. Brielle started blowing up my phone. "Hurry up. Don't chicken out now." So I threw a jacket over my barely there outfit and tiptoed down the hallway, hoping Aaron wouldn't notice. He was in the living room, playing a game on his phone, barely glancing up as I told him I'd be back late. I watched him for a second, hoping he'd say something, maybe even stop me, but he didn't. That should have been my clue that something was off between us. I got in Brielle's car, and the moment I slid into the passenger seat, she let out a wolf whistle. "Jess, you look insane. You're going to own this party." I tried to laugh, but there was this cold knot in my stomach. I kept pulling the jacket tighter, feeling exposed even with my best friend beside me. The party was pure chaos. Music shaking the walls, strobe lights painting everyone in flashes of red and purple, people dancing and drinking and shouting over the noise. Brielle disappeared into the crowd, phone in hand, recording everything for her story. Within minutes, I was surrounded by strangers. Guys nudging each other, whispering about the girl in the black lace. I pretended not to notice, but every look felt like a spotlight. Part of me liked the attention, the feeling of being seen. Another part of me wanted to hide, to run home and throw on a sweatshirt. Every time I tried to cover up, Brielle would yank my jacket away, giggling, "Stop hiding. You're the hottest girl here." She handed me a drink, and I downed it fast, hoping the alcohol would make the nerves go away. For a while, it worked. I danced, I laughed, I let myself forget about Aaron and everything waiting for me at home. But every time someone stared too long, I'd feel that pang of guilt. Hours passed in a blur of flashing lights, laughter, and the low buzz of bad decisions. I lost count of how many times I checked my phone, half expecting a text from Aaron, half hoping he wouldn't ask where I was. By the time I left, it was almost 2 a.m. The night air was icy, sobering me instantly. As I walked up the driveway, every step felt heavier. The house was dark. Eerily so. Aaron always left a light on, always fell asleep with the TV murmuring in the background, but tonight there was nothing. I kicked off my heels and crept down the hall, expecting to find him asleep, but the bed was empty. That's when I heard it, a soft tap-tap from the kitchen. I followed the sound, my heart hammering in my chest, and found Aaron under the harsh kitchen light, hunched over his phone. He didn't look up when I walked in. I forced a laugh. "Why are you still up?" No answer. He just kept scrolling, his jaw tight. I tried again, softer this time. "Aaron, are you okay?" He looked up, and the chill in his eyes nearly stopped my heart. No anger. No yelling. Just a kind of emptiness I'd never seen before. "How was the party?" he asked, eyes locked on mine. I tried to sound casual. "It was fun. Just a bunch of people dancing. Nothing crazy." He let the silence drag out, then, in a flat voice, asked, "Did you forget to mention you left here dressed like my wife and came back looking like?" I don't even know what he didn't finish the sentence, just shook his head, a sad little laugh escaping his lips. My stomach dropped. "Aaron, what are you talking about?" I snapped, trying to act annoyed instead of scared. It was a costume, literally everyone was dressed wild. "It's Halloween." He didn't blink, just leaned forward, elbows on the table. "Don't play dumb, Jess. You left this house one way and came back another, and you didn't think I'd notice." Before I could protest, he held up his phone. My heart nearly stopped. There I was, front and center on Brielle's story, spinning around in my barely there outfit, guys staring like it was a show. I hadn't even realized she posted it. She didn't tag me, but there was no mistaking who it was. My face burned with shame. "That's not what it looks like," I blurted, my voice trembling. He just shook his head, eyes flat. "No, Jess. It's exactly what it looks like." Silence stretched between us, choking and endless. I tried to speak, but nothing came out. All I could manage was a weak, "I didn't cheat. I didn't touch anyone. I swear." But he cut me off, voice razor sharp. "You knew what you were doing when you left. That's why you didn't let me see you. That's why you're scrambling for a story now." He leaned back, arms crossed. "I'm done being insecure, Jess. I'm done being stupid." He stood up, grabbed his phone, and brushed past me without another word. I didn't follow. I couldn't. I just stood there, feeling the cold seep into my bones, as the sound of the door closing echoed through the silent house. The hours after that were a blur. I wandered the living room in circles, picking up my phone 100 times, never sure what I wanted to say. I wanted to beg him to forgive me, to fight for us, but I also felt this stubborn anger. Why couldn't he see it was just a stupid mistake? Why couldn't he just let it go? Finally, I went looking for him, found him on the couch, staring at his phone like I didn't even exist. My voice was small. "Aaron, can we please talk?" He didn't answer. Just kept scrolling, ignoring me, like I was a ghost. Eventually he put his phone down and looked at me. Really looked, like he was seeing me for the first time, and maybe realizing he didn't like what he saw. "I'm done talking, Jess," he said, and his voice was so flat, so tired, it nearly broke me. "Done pretending this is all fine. Done acting like I don't matter." I wanted to scream at him, to make him see it wasn't that serious. I hadn't cheated, I hadn't done anything unforgivable. But even as I opened my mouth to argue, the words died on my tongue. He stood up and walked to the window, his back to me. "You've been checked out for months, Jess. I've tried to hold on, but tonight, you crossed a line. And you're still standing here, acting like it's nothing." His words hit like a punch. I wanted to deny it, but I couldn't. I had been drifting, letting our marriage fade without even noticing. I tried to apologize, to crouch in front of him and beg, but it felt hollow, even to me. "I'm sorry, Aaron. I didn't mean to hurt you. Please, just don't go." He shook his head. "If that's your version of sorry, then it's not enough." He looked so tired, so done. I wanted to reach out and hold him, to promise I'd do better. But I didn't even know if I could. He moved past me, grabbing his jacket, heading for the door. "You know where I'm going," he said, not even glancing back. The door slammed, and I was alone, the silence pressing in like a weight. The rest of the night was endless. I sat on the floor, knees pulled to my chest, replaying every decision that led me here. I told myself he'd come back, that he'd forgive me like he always did. But deep down, I knew it was over. The next morning, the house was too quiet, every empty space reminding me of what I'd lost. I texted him, called, tried everything. But there was only silence. Days turned into weeks. He never came home, never answered, never gave me the chance to explain. And even if he had, What would I have said? That I was sorry? That I didn't mean for any of this to happen? I don't think I even knew what I wanted anymore. Sometimes I still check my phone, hoping for a message, hoping for some sign that he's ready to forgive. But it's just emptiness. Aaron moved on, and I'm stuck here, living in the wreckage of my own choices, replaying that night over and over, wondering if there was ever a way to undo it. But the truth is, sometimes a single night can change everything, and some mistakes can't be fixed. No matter how much you wish they could.